Welcome to HDTV. You're now rocking with your boy Booger. Oh, booger. Okay. Booger.
When you get that call, it says, we found something on your...
Oh, these dang ads. So, Booger McFarland, former NFL player Booger McFarland says black players come into the league to build their brand. According to Larry Brown Sports, ESPN's Anthony Durrell Booger McFarland criticized the priorities of young black NFL players whom he feels prioritize their brand over their performance on the football field. Here's how it started. Earlier this week, the Washington football team released their quarterback, Dwayne Haskins, who has been on the team for 2 years. This afternoon, I met with Dwayne and informed him that we would be releasing him, Coach Ron Rivera said in a written statement. I told him that I believe it benefits both parties, that we go our separate ways. We want to thank Dwayne for his contributions these last 2 seasons and wish him well moving forward. Last week, photographs of Haskins surfaced that showed him attending a private party without wearing a face covering with his girlfriend. I wonder who leaked those photos. Due to that incident, he had been stripped of his captaincy and fined. And after not performing well on the field, Rivera benched him in the fourth quarter, which ultimately led to his release. On ESPN's Monday Night Countdown, McFarland blamed the release of Haskins and other black football players on prioritizing brand recognition over on-field performance. Unfortunately, I've seen this too many times. Oftentimes, young players, especially young African-American players, because they make up 70% of this league, they come into this league and they ask themselves the wrong thing. They come into this league saying, not how can I be a better player? They don't say, how can I be a better teammate? They don't say, how can I be a better person? They come in saying, how can I build my brand better? How can I build my social media following better? How can I work out on Instagram and show everybody that I'm ready to go, but when I get to the game, I don't perform? McFarland said. Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, is not the first case that I've seen like this, and it won't be the last. And it bothers me because a lot of it is the young African-American player. They come in and they don't take this as a business. It is still a game to them. It's $1 billion business. McFarland later headed to Twitter to clarify his comments. So, Booger McFarland basically is saying that black players are trying to build their brand. But what about the black players that aren't trying to build their brand, like a Deshaun Watson or a Lamar Jackson? Booger, you played nose tackle and you weren't even thought of. If it wasn't for Sapp, Simeon Rice, Derrick Brooks, John Lynch, all those guys on that defense, you would have been an afterthought. Now, you did do well at the nose. You did stop the run. You were able to get upfield, make plays and things. You did an okay job. You basically replaced Chidi Ahanotu because him and Sapp kept getting into it because Sapp don't know how to talk to people. But that's another story I'm going to talk about later. Now, what he's saying is part of the truth. Yes, black players do come into the league. That's not just black players. What about Johnny Manziel? Manziel came in the league being a bigger brand than what he's done. What about what's his name? Baker Mayfield. He's putting his brand before winning football games. But I don't hear you saying anything. I mean, What about Peyton Manning when he came in? They had all these commercials and the carpet rolled out for him. He was building his brand before he started actually putting in the work. So I mean, what are you getting at? Dwayne Haskins, was it his fault? Yes, it was his fault for going out doing something dumb, which was going to the strip club, knowing that you could be caught on film and it'd be leaked. But this is funny to me. How are these pictures being leaked after he left? Why weren't they leaked while he was there? But now they're bringing up everything to make it a justified firing. Look, let's call it what it is. Ron Rivera never wanted Dwayne Haskins from the get-go. They never liked him. They wanted to move on from him. So he tried to put him in the worst possibilities he could. And when Alex Smith came back halfway decent, he was like, oh yeah, we could put Alex Smith in. But it's funny to me, Booger, that you talk about these black players, but you don't talk about the white players like Riley Cooper, who said the N-word, but he was allowed to play the whole season and he got an extension. We're not talking about how black players always, when they're trying to turn a new leaf, like let's say Odell Beckham, but they keep bringing up stuff in his past. They keep tearing him down. But we don't say nothing about Big Ben. He's never tied to a rape case when anybody's talking about him. They don't bring it up. But for athletes, black athletes especially, they bring it up all the time. All the time. Brett Favre was sending his genital pics to a trainer, but they don't bring that up every time they talk about Favre. They talk about he's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. They never bring that incident up, do they? Do they? But they'll bring up another incident about, oh, well, these black players, they're building their brand and it just makes me mad. No, Booger, you know what makes me mad is that guys aren't in executive positions and blacks aren't owners. You are the typical token Negro. You're causing misdirection and you're causing things to, how can I say, you're causing confusion. You're not looking at the big picture. We have a saying at UPS when we drive, get the big picture. Stay back and see it all is the key word. And you know what that means? That means sit your fat behind back and look at it, Booger. You've been picking your nose too much. That's why they call you Booger. Dwayne Haskins isn't the first guy who's been through this and he won't be the last. I agree. Was Dwayne Haskins, like I said, they never wanted him. So Dwayne Haskins was like, well, F it. They don't want me, whatever. Ron Rivera could have waited till the end of the season. They had one more week. But you know what he did? He did what the typical white boy would do. He got rid of him. And now nobody's going to touch him. He's not going to be able to get a second chance. See, that's the thing you don't understand. When we make mistakes, why is it that we don't get a second or third chance or fourth chance? Like these quarterbacks. Let's say a Matt Schaub. He's still playing in the league. He sucked his first time around as a starter. So they were like, okay, we'll just put you as a backup. Once he retires, you know where he's going, to a front office position or whatever he wants. They do it to everybody. Kellen Moore was a backup quarterback. He did good at Boise State, came in the league. He was a backup quarterback. He didn't pan out well, especially the year when Romo got hurt. He sucked. All of a sudden, he became the quarterback's coach a year after that. Then he became an offensive coordinator like 2 years after that. Look. Shut the F up, McFarland. You need to be talking about the real issues, but you're not going to talk about it because you know why? You a token Negro, like Stephen A. Smith, like Shannon Sharp, like all of these big mouth bass face people, the brownies. All of y'all are token Negroes. Y'all not going to speak up. Y'all not going to say anything. Y'all not going to do anything to rock the boat. Hell, look at Kobe Bryant. He tried to rock the boat by leaving Nike, getting his own company, starting some things. Also, on the Casino for Life Patreon, there was word he was going to try to get with that one guy who was filtering the water in Flint, Michigan, I believe. He had a machine he created and he was making the water clear, and they kept coming to sabotage it because it was saving people. He was using the air. I believe, yeah, he was using the air creating water, and they came and was messing it up because that's not what they want, Booger. You know what they want, Booger? You know what they want, Booger? They basically want you to still be a dumb behind Negro. They still want you to be a sportscaster. They want you to be what they want you to be. Like they want Tyrone and them to go gangbang. They want them to be dope boys. That's why they keep pushing that product in the hood. That's why they keep glorifying, oh, you have to be an athlete. If you don't have a wicked jump shot, well, you got to go to crack rock. That's what they want. And you're missing the big picture. Dwayne Haskins and many other black people have not gotten a fair shot like they should have. But if this was a white boy who did this, he would have never got did like Dwayne Haskins. That's what we're saying, the double standards. We're not saying Dwayne Haskins isn't wrong or other black players who have come through in the past years. We're not saying they're wrong, but the problem is this. We don't get the same chances or the same fair game as whites. We don't. And some of these minorities are getting picked over us. Like this one lady came to my page talking about, well, don't compare blacks to Mexicans or Cubans. We're all the same, honey. The only difference is the skin tone. We're all whites, blacks, all of us are the same. The only thing different is a skin tone, dummy. And do you know why you guys succeed when you come here? Because you don't have any debt. You don't have any debt, so you could start from ground zero and move up. Guess what? We're starting behind the 8 ball. Behind the 8 ball. We weren't taught business. Ma'am and Booger. I'm going to call you ma'am and Booger. We weren't taught business. We weren't giving these resources to do better or to get better. We haven't. So you expect the kid, oh, he supposed to come in here and know business. Well, why weren't you a veteran to go over there and try to show him the business, Booger? I didn't hear you one time reach out or even try to go over there and say what up to him. A lot of you black players, y'all have helped certain people. Now, is he immature? Yes, he is. But you can't. That's what these whites do, aka the pink folk do, Booger. They bundle us all up in one. If Dwayne Haskins messed up, how about you highlight Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson? Showcase them. Because they took it seriously, and look what they're doing. They're making things happen. So it's not a lot of Dwayne Haskins. The thing is, if you're put in a system that doesn't get you prepared for the business, how are you going to be ready? A lot of people don't have that want in them. They don't have that built in them to say, you know what, I'm going to go get it. A lot of people don't. And he may be one of them. He may probably got the big head, but to me, I just looked at him as he didn't care no more because Rivera didn't give him a fair shake. So he was like, F it. But at the end of the day, this is Booger's opinion, but at the end of the day, it's a dumb opinion. And when are we going to wake up and start talking about the real issues? Reparations, land given to us that was stolen, executive jobs, ownership. They're not talking about that because you know why? Booger is not a part of the plan. It's not.